says at the end in terms of who he thinks has had a good draft, we just support the other team because they're bound to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Virtus.Pro.
All right.
I mean, if Jacob goes ahead and is like VP of 1 Game 3 after the draft is done, I'm willing to switch my prediction. All right.
All right. I'm gonna come for you, Austin.
Wait a second. So last game, who had first pick? Virtus.Pro, right?
Yes.
Because OG banned it. This time it's the other way around. I'm guessing OG won the coin toss.
That would be a
first pick?
fair assumption, yes.
Which would mean that Virtus.Pro picked Radiant. In that case, they will not be giving them Shadow Fiend again. I simply don't believe it. They'll rather give away the Doom and then counter it out with their AA pick.
OG, I think, are thinking about like maybe leaving out, I don't know, the Tusk just, it looked really valuable in game number 1, and then game 2,
That's how
VP
much
just had too much control.
That's how much comfort matters. I think in game number 1, Moon played a lane that he's way more used to facing, that type of lane, and this time around just probably doesn't have much experience playing against Avenge. At least that's what it seemed like. If you do, you don't die 3 or 4 times in lane.
Do you think they're considering the Doom or the... Like, if I were them, I would even consider the AA. Because right now I think they're comfortable with letting Slaughter through because it is a dead giveaway of what Virtus.Pro is going to have on their offlane so far. Meaning they don't have to worry about much else. They already know where the Slaughter is going and how it's going to be utilized. And it hasn't played as big a role in these games as we see a lot of other Slaughters do. Can I just point out that I was right? Since none of you did, I'll just applaud myself.
I mean, it's fine.
Jacob,
if you want to point out every single time you're right on this panel,
it's going to be
only
a
going to
long day
happen
of me
1 or 2
talking.
times.
That was a great prediction, Cap. I think AA was a good ban here.
Thank you, Synderen. You do have to worry still about the VP Brood, which OG have not banned away this time. And if VP choose to leave out the Doom, the Broodmother is an appropriate response.
The difference is that OG has the first pick. When they banned it out, that was in the previous game when VP had first pick, because then they have the last pick of the first phase. That's what's scary. This time around, if OG see the pick Brood, great, we just get Darks here.
Considering they just sort of manhandled Miracle a lot throughout the game, I think that, the Shadow Fiend ban.
Shadow Fiend's out, and now there's Doom, Slardar. Alright, insta grab for Moon.
So do Virtus grab the Doom?
They have played it on both the offlane and the carry position. I don't think they're scared to pick it, but I think they question whether it's actually suitable for their way of playing.
Because then they would have to get like Doom Winter Wyvern or something. That wouldn't be a bad opening.
10 seconds remaining.
It's true, now that AA is out, they can actually go for a very heal-intensive lineup.
But
they could
OG
also steal the Slardar, the Dazzle, if they want for FNG. I don't know how relevant the Dazzle is for OG when they don't have their Shadow Fiend. I feel like it's that duo of their picks that always works so well together.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. If it's like a nice frontline 1 position, like SF, Tiny, that's usually when they're going to pick up the Dazzle. There is nice synergy with the Slardar, though. Darkseer Gyrocopter. All-out team fight for VP.
Does No-Tail play Doom or Slardar? Oh, okay.
Dire team.
To me, this opening for OG is not as strong as game number 1. It's just the Shadow Fiend Dazzle combination on the Dire that they had in that game that was so strong. What is, of course, great is that they now have the Slardar for taking Roshan, but they still need to find a way to make it work with their lanes. And one hero that's definitely out of the question for them as the mid laner who would be good at roshing is Templar Assassin. That's just not a pick against DP's lineup already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Beastmaster... I don't know, Beastmaster TA, even if a Darkseer is on VP's side.
No-Tail has not played Slardar or Doom all tournament, by the way. So VP have got to assume that it's offlane.
Unless they're planning on picking it themselves, I think Virtus.Pro would be wise to... That was one hero.
The best ban they could make there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna shut up again then.
What were you going to say?
Just say they would be wise to ban out the Huskar.
That's easy to say afterwards.
Yeah, but I mean, he stopped me short of what I was about to say, so I wasn't gonna continue.
Seconds remaining.
You were going to say that Shadowfiend was a great ban, probably.
5
And then you're like,
seconds
oh wait, they banned it already, so I better not say anything. And then you just
I
cloak
already
it up
said
with a
that
Huskar.
before this ban.
You forget it early.
Is Bane going to be taken out here?
Nice. Spirit Breaker finally getting recognized as a threat. And this is exactly because VP have the Darkseer. That's when they run the Spirit Breaker the best.
There's still Night Stalker in the pool.
10 seconds remaining.
If VP still want to run that kind of aggressive duo, obviously it's not the same as the Spirit Breaker.
There is also the Tusk that they have to take into consideration.
Pros turn to
Can we have a quick competition at who can replicate that sound the best?
Austin?
Oh, that was bad. That was really bad.
dire team pick.
I'm not even gonna
I'm-
try.
You know, the
pretty
Russian
sure-
broadcast over there is just like nailing every single one of these
Yeah.
pigs, and hey, we're over here making baby rage noises.
Pretty sure that wasn't Alchemist Catalyst. That was more like a baby lamb.
I don't know how to respond to that ball.
Wait a second. Okay, what are OG going to do? They still have their Rubik left for crit. His Wyvern is out. His IO is out.
There's a
Tusk
Night-
is taken.
That's a Night Stalker.
Remaining.
Night Stalker is a possibility.
Reserve time.
Nice synergy with Slardar. The amount of vision you get, and of course the fact that Night Stalker, even in support role, can actually hit pretty hard.
Yeah, and I think he's quite good oftentimes versus some of these squishier agility heroes if Night Stalker is off to a great start. And it's also a good hero that puts pressure on potential disruptor pick, which I think is likely for VP when they have the Darkseer Gyrocopter already. Has a long-range cancel to the Fiend script. Good controlling hero for Slardar potentially. The Bane, I think, was pretty obvious one of the supports for either VP or OG because it was not banned away and both teams needed a bit more control.
10 seconds remaining.
Do they need, let's see, so they need one extra support, and generally FNG plays the Tusk. They're going to grab the Lina for G. Most likely. It can still be a support Lina, of course, if they want to try for that.
Yeah, technically Tusk does operate as a setup stun for Lina if you want to run both.
It's a
as
very
support.
strong support duo.
Mhm.
Incredibly good. I think OG would be wise to pick a really hard carry this game. They have two defensive supports in Dazzle and Bane. They can obviously scale very well in the late game with Slaughter. I'm thinking the PL for No-Tail might be a go-to here again.
Remaining.
Of course, it's counted way harder now than it was in the first game, and
Yeah.
they don't have the rest of it.
The Gyrocopter by himself is not an issue, but when you include Darkseer and Lina, I agree. I think there's perhaps too many counters.
When you're looking at mid laners right now, I think even though they're up against a Lina Tusk combo, I think Queen of Pain is still one of the better heroes to go to, just because of what she offers all around.
Queen of Pain and maybe Juggernaut for OG.
Or the Viper.
The switcheroo. This is a good way of dealing with Lina. Viper can actually stand up to her in lane.
Watch them pick up Vengeful Spirit. Like, nice lineup, VP.
I'm wondering what OG are planning as far as lanes are concerned. I think Slardar offlane on the Dire against any lane with Gyro is super difficult. Even if they put dual lanes, say Slardar Bane, I think a lane like Gyrocopter Tusk can beat that out. So OG have to be a little bit worried about that. And regardless, no matter how they put their lanes, I think it's going to be difficult for them to help out Miracle much in this matchup. So he has to hold his own with Viper. Is this the first time he ever plays that competitive? I think so. I don't know. This does not strike me as a Miracle pick. I don't know.
No, it doesn't feel like it. Maybe No-Tail's going to be playing it mid. Miracle will go to the safe lane farm. Does this give more emphasis to the mid Lina? There's not very many heroes that are going to match up well against Viper unless they pick up something, you know, like mid Razor.
I think Lina is good enough.
Yeah, I agree. I think Lina is pretty much, you know, one of the best heroes that you can have that isn't necessarily going to win the matchup, but is still all around strong.
Finally, the Brute Band does come out.
Turn to
Just in case VP were gonna... Wait, what could they have done? Support Darkseer?
Mid-brood.
Mid-brood, yeah. That's actually a pretty good call here from OG in case VP were considering that. Because Illidan, or wait, no, what were their lanes? Support lane, yeah. Oh.
Hero for VP. Ooh.
This is I want to call it a long forgotten combo, but I think exactly OG has actually played it, but Vacuum Ice Path is scary.
First time in the Frankfurt Major we've seen Jakiro. Has been banned out once.
And it's a strong dual lane as well if they want to run something like that. But
OG,
the Miracle Anti-Mage.
settle on the anti-mage as the final pick, and we'll head into the third and final games. Hold on to your seats, ladies and gents. This one's going to be a roller coaster.
Indeed it is, Paul. Game 1 and Game 2 so far have been nothing less than absolutely fantastic. And Game 3 looks to be the same. You can't spell OG without G, and they've got a little bit of him in their draft this time. They're taking the Viper, using it themselves this time round, but at the same time we've got some interesting stuff coming out from VP. They're running the Jakiro Purge. Talk to me about the two-ended dragon.
Jakiro's very good at pushing towers, basically. That's the best thing he can do. His third skill, Liquid Fire, reduces their attack speed, does damage to them, and it's also pretty good against some carries as well. For example, if Anti-Mage uses Manta Style and he throws Liquid Fire in them, it really limits their DPS and protects his allies in a bit of a different way. So with that, they also have Vacuum into Ice Path like they were talking about. It's a very good disable on a low cooldown, good range on that. Their catch isn't amazing, so they can't deal with killing Anti-Mage super easily, but against Slardar, against Viper, against Bane, I feel like they're going to have the lockdowns they need.
All right, here we go. Let's see what we're going to see from the start. In terms of the lanes, I was going to have Phobos on that offlane Darkseer, G on his signature Lina. We saw how well he did on that performance on the Viper. He did, of course, play G earlier today, and it wasn't ideal, but it was a tough game against the lineup of OG. And OG, they've got that hero that a lot of teams are talking about, this Bane. A lot of teams really rating the Bane pick at the moment.
It's really good just because it has good damage, it has good movement speed, decent armor, great stats all around, and they recently buffed it to cost less for Brain Sap. So he can roam extremely well, he can trade hits with any hero because he can have a heal on top of that. So he could definitely pressure the supports out of VP.
Okay. FNG didn't want to scout it out, so just straight up pass. Your lads doing Roshan? OG say, yeah. And looks like VP won't fall for it. And there we have it. Getting themselves the runes, both of the mid laners.
You know, if there's any tournament to do this at, it may be this one. The old level 1 Rosh. Ooh, miss block here for a crit. So should be a better block coming out of the Radiant side. Nope, they also messed up. Slightly better for OG here. Sentry goes down.
Little's going to be hanging around with the mid lane G. No doubt. He's going to have crit next to him. And the fact that it is a Lina against this Viper and crit on the Bane. Ooh, shards coming through. Crit's going to have to look for the long way around.
It's a really nice shards. Forces him to walk around basically instead of staying there and pressuring the Lina.
Also going to see Jakiro hanging around top with Phobos on this Darkseer rather than opting to help out Illidan on the bottom lane.
Oh, he does deward as well, so interesting way to do their dual lane, but it's basically to pressure the anti-mage.
Yes.
Jakiro is pretty good in the early game. Just throwing out a Liquid Fire here, it only does about, what, 60 damage at level 1. It's good, it's not amazing. It's a 20-second cooldown, but allows them to pressure AM and reduce his farm a little. And then Illidan in the safe lane, he's great versus a Slardar. If Slardar gets in melee range, he just uses Rocket Barrage and does a ton of magic damage. So the real question mark is, how is Lina going to do?
Oh, Miracle. He needs to be careful here. Lily's there, throws out the ice path. FNG can't quite catch Miracle out there. Good timing there, a good reaction with the blink. As you said, the fact that they've got 3 heroes now, they really want to do something about this Miracle Anti-Mage, and understandably so. Ice Path just being thrown out. Miracle just juking at the moment, but a lot of harassment being thrown out by VP.
Costs very little throw Ice Path. It's 90 mana, and he's got 400 total. Plus he has a Clarity on top of that, so they can harass constantly, make Miracle second guess whether or not he can get last hits. And he doesn't yet have his spell shield, so any magic damage done to him right now is actually quite good. Lil going for the top rune, he'll grab a bounty here. No bottle just yet for Lina. Crit with a haste on the bot lane though.
Let's see if he can set Simi up here. He's going to find Illidan, and he's going to set this up with a Nightmare. They have the damage to go for this. They'll lead in with the crush, with the right clicks, the brain sap as well. Illidan, he might be the first to fall here as Moon and Crit head into the sideline. They'll get themselves the kill. That's your first bird. Mid lane though, G rolling in with Lil. They'll find a kill in return, taking down the Viper. So 1 for 1 across the board, but OG a little bit quicker off the mark and securing themselves the first blood.
Did Illidan have that TP the whole time, or did he buy from the side shop? Because he could have TP'd hypothetically, especially because Nightmare was used. If you're wondering why they Nightmared, by the way, it actually does do some damage. So a little bit extra damage from the Nightmare to lead into that kill.
Top lane, pressure being put on. Look at this aggression, just pushing the creeps around with the shell. Miracle in terms of CS, it's really affecting him at the moment. 6 CS on this anti-mage.
And sometimes you get lucky and the liquid fire lands on the tower and the tower loses 80 HP. It's that early Jakiro advantage. He's also going to get some dual breath later. Dual breath is amazing at pretty much all stages of the game. Now there's some more has coming.
Fly's doing a lot there with this heal. Allowing Miracle to feel a little bit more confident than he would of course do on his own. Bottom lane, Moon kind of caught on the wrong side here of Illidan, but Moon does have backup coming through. There's your stun to set this through. Brain sap as well. Illidan trying to move into the rocket barrage, looking for the kill onto Moon. Moon's going to be able to get himself out as he's sprinting back in. Wants to find the ice pass there. Moon, he still gets the kill with the help of Crit, but now the shards are out and it looks like VP are going to look for the favorable trade. They've already found the Slaughter and they should be able to find it. He's keeping himself alive for a bit, but Lil
Land the ice path.
and FNG there with the ice path. The Jakiro doing a lot in this early game, and VP find the favorable trade.
That was so close. They almost missed that. Ice path missing, one person canceling an attack, and that double kill does not happen. Interesting skill build out of FNG though. He's just going to completely skip dual breath. He's going for the ice path levels here. And that may mean that this is something they practiced or theoretically a bit.
As well, Mooney's come out, but Lil's coming in as well for this one. Elite a Mango here on the Tusker. The shards are actually not going to trap him, but there's the ice path. The snowball to follow through as well. The rocket barrage, but Moon's a little bit too speedy there with a sprint. In fact, he's moving back in. He did have enough mana there for a crush. He's not going to want to try and turn. Salves himself up in the sideline. FNG moving forward. Just getting the rest of it. There's your crush though, and now the tower is onto FNG. FNG could be in some trouble. There's a TP coming in from the Crit as well. The rocket barrage through. FNG trying to smoke it, but the tower gets the last hit. Does take down Jakiro. As VP just a little too over-aggressive there by the tier 1.
It was a big mistake from FNG. He hit Moon Meander because he wanted to cancel the salve, but then it aggroed the tower and he took damage.
Oh, they might be able to find this as well. Mooney eats the mango, gets the crush out, crits there as well, the damage. There's a snowball. It's not going to save the Jaro though, and they won't be able to find a return because they lose Illidan there on that bottom lane.
And Illidan is just getting wrecked in his lane. It's not working nearly as well as the Venge did, and that's the issue with doing the aggressive dual lane and the tri-lane pressuring the anti-mage. Now Jakiro is super far behind. Slaughter's got a boots, he's got a power treads at 5 minutes, and he's level 6. They've given him too much.
Well, let's see what the plan is now from OG. Back to base, Crit and Moon. We'll see if they decide to go to another lane. They do, as you said, have that amplify from Slaughter if they want to make something happen. And whilst all this has been going on, Miracle, he's doing all right now. 21 CS on this anti-mage compared to the 13 on Illidan. So he's finding the farm. Phobos on an even level, of course, on this Darkseer. 23 with the Iron Shell spam.
Gang coming top, though. Phobos in trouble.
To find Phobos. He's salving up. He's going to look for the straight TP. Moon kind of holding on, but now he goes in. Should get the crush catch, and he does. Gets it down onto the Darkseer. Miracle blinks forward. Wants to find himself involved in this kill, and he'll get it as well. More money into the pocket of this anti-mage. Very nicely executed there by OG.
I think VP made a giant mistake allowing Starter to get this far ahead. His ganks are going to be really hard to punish. He can gank mid, he can gank the safe lane, he can gank the carry.
Oh, now he's got an invis as well.
Like, Illidan is just now picking up his brown boots. He's just getting some movement speed. Yeah, FNG can pressure the tower here with his liquid fire, and they can get some gold advantage there, but they're behind in experience and their ability to get ganks off on the map.
And we'll see if Moon's able to do anything with this invis. Looks like he's... At the moment, there is this Radiant Sentry, of course. I do not have vision. Both of the sentries just missing each other by the looks of it.
Lucky for him, otherwise Moon would continue his rampage. I keep looking at Jakiro, and I wish he had 1 point in dual breath. It's actually a really good disable right now. Slows by 28%, does 100 damage for 1 skill point, and it's AoE. That stuff adds up.
What's the plan now for the side of VP? We can see them grouping up as 3 bottom. It's very apparent that they want to try and fight with this Tusk combo. Actually going to send the Jakiro back up top.
Well, maybe they can kill Miracle.
Well, they've got Moon and Crit coming around as well on the side of OG, so if they don't get him down initially, there's going to be a response from OG. They're trying to go in on the anti-mage, but now here comes the wraparound. Moon's there with the crush onto FNG, the brain sap as well. Jakiro has gone. Phobos has to surge himself out, and just the two of them, the Darkseid and the Jakiro. I don't know if they're ever going to be able to get that kill on Miracle, because he's pretty hard to catch out with just the two of them there.
Yeah, they don't have the right disables, basically. They also don't really have the right damage types.
Sending more up as well, and OG, they're going to be ready to fight. There's just Snowball onto Miracle. If they can burst him down straight away, it's going to be huge.
Okay,
they
that
get the
does it.
Laguna. That's going to be the anti-mage down, but OG, they're looking for the reaction. They'll Nightmare, they'll need a little sneaky tool. Oh, but then with the Nightmare toggle, actually don't force step on Lil, but he's still held in place by the Nightmare. They'll get the Lina. Lil's going to go down as well, almost certainly. Pops the charges. Illidan now turning up, but they've already lost two. Illidan looking for the recovery kills. He'll get himself one. Looking to move forward to Crit, but Crit TPs himself out. Will get away. So a little bit of recovery. The fact that Illidan finds a kill, but they do lose two there.
Definitely very good for Illidan considering how far behind he is. Again, great rotations from Gyrocopter in the early game. Call down just brown boots and you're able to do a lot. But the anti-mage kill, I don't know if that was going to be worth it for G. It's a pretty equal trade. They need to keep getting kills like that though, and it's about 28 seconds left until Lina has his ult.
G now just looking to head back to the mid lane at the moment. Got Jakiro just picking up the levels. And Miracle back to getting that CS, trying to get as best a timing as he can on the Battle Fury.
They're looking for Gyrocopter on the bot lane, I think. He may TP bot. He actually, it's on cooldown, so he's going to be late, which may mean by the time he gets there, OG's going to shift.
Yeah, they've just got about half the duration on this smoke left. If they move towards this camp here, they might get wind of G.
Oh, they might find him in the jungle as well. They see him, the smoke might break before they get there.
The Crit can open it up. He has got the Nightmare, of course, and he'll try and get in range. Can't quite do it. Illidan will be able to keep himself fine. Bit of a close call there for the man.
FNG again rotating, now sitting up on the top lane. He's gone for a Macro Pyre as well. I guess if you have a lot of Ice Path, it's pretty worth it to get this early. And with Tusk as well, they have a lot of ways to keep people from moving. Yeah, well, this anti-mage pick, man, it absolutely threw a wrench into VP's plans. So hard to kill him. And they don't really have the best solutions against it.
Yeah, Lil was looking to roll himself in, had the Iron Shell on, but as you said, just a little bit too elusive, this anti-mage.
Could maybe go on Dazzle, but that's a hard kill. Fly's positioning is consistently very good on Dazzle.
Crit, now level 6. Let me see if G oversteps the mark, top lane. Phobos going right round, pings are coming in, the fortification will be there, so it looks like OG can just try and hold this tier 1. We've got the phase boots now on Gyro, so when he does turn up to these skirmishes, he's going to be that little bit stronger.
I like this cut that Lil did here. Aggro the creeps to the side, kill with Iron Shell, and allow your tower or your creeps to hit the tower. This is one advantage they can get, and it's because of the Jakiro support. They push towers, the towers attack slow, and they'll get some gold here. And it's also going to limit where anti-mage can farm. It's one really good thing that VP is doing. In the meantime, they have to keep Illidan alive, and they have to keep G unganked. And for this small period where they pressured the top tower, they did not get ganked at least.
No-Tail playing a similar style to what we saw on G's Viper, just keeping the farm up, sticking into the mid lane, 4.2k at the moment. Just a little bit ahead of G on his Lina. VP coming towards the mid now. No-Tail actually moving forward. Top lane, Moon, he's found himself an Invis, and he's also found FNG, and FNG's all as his own. Miracle comes in as well for the action, and they'll get the kill. Easy pick up there for the boys.
Slar playing great this game, Moon Meander, 4-2 and 5. 1200 gold, getting close to Blink Dagger. And he went the Treads build as well. It's something that almost no Slardars go right now, but it's going to allow him to transition a lot better in the mid game once he gets bash levels. So may make a big difference there. And he can spend very little time outside of the base anyways, because he can sprint back into the fountain, heal up, and get back to a gank again.
Phobos, Lil, and Illidan are smoked up. They see the Crits looking for the solo XP, and Crit could be in trouble here. Here's the Tusk Snowball straight in onto the Bane. Illidan's around as well. He'll try and keep himself alive with a self-nightmare. Isn't going to work, and Illidan finds himself the kill.
Super big kill because they can immediately transfer this into a tier 1 tower kill. 4 levels on Jakiro's Ice or Liquid Fire, and now it's permanent. On towers, that is. So lots of damage. Towers will fall. They can even pressure tier 2 here. G just has to slow down the mid push and not get caught.
Yeah, the TP mids. They want to try and defend this tier 1. They'll take the tier 1 bottom, as you said. They'll also manage to hold onto the tier 1 middle. So, certainly so far, the tower pushing a VP, proving to be superior to OG's, as you've been explaining. We do expect to see with this Jakiro pickup.
Okay. So for this time period, we'll probably see FNG shift back into the jungle. OG, again, they don't have the most aggressive heroes. They got the right person farmed, it's Moon Meander, but he's got to finish his Blink Dagger work before he can set these up. And ganks with Anti-Mage, they work, but they have to land the Crush. And there is a 6 on Bane as well, so they have some decent options. But that's one of the downsides of having a Dazzle. It's a hero that can't set up kills for you, really, except for the first couple levels. At this stage, he basically just sits behind players and waits for the initiation. So their ganks are slightly limited. Viper is kind of a similar hero as Anti-Mage. It's not easy for him to set up. He can follow up on allies, but that means that they need a Blink Dagger or they need to smoke around. So OG is still limited for a bit here, and it's VP's game to get kills and create pressure.
And G's certainly looking for that pressure. He's pretty much got the Yules done. 100 or so gold for the Void Stone. And he's going to have that extra pick-off potential. And 3 heroes at the moment on VP, just wrapping around through the dire jungle. See if they can get anything from the side of OG towards the mid lane. No tail. Just holding onto the tower, but Fly is there on the sidelines. Ready for the reaction with Crit as well on the Bane, if anyone tries to jump in. And VP, they're not going to look for the jump as of yet, and just looking to try and take a bit of control from this dire half of the map.
And they're setting up the wards now. Bottom half is pretty much theirs. The tower's really high HP, and there's the Blink Dagger now on Moon. His mana's slightly low, but he's got wand charges. And by farming here, it protects Miracle while also allowing them to pressure the tower. But the problem is that VP's far ahead where they normally are. They already have their own tier 1, they're pressuring a tier 2, and they don't even need a lot of heroes to do this. Just solo Jakiro, and he's going to be able to pressure this tower.
They lose tier 1 mid, but they're smoked up. Can they quite get close enough? No. Side of OG's going to be fine. Smoke from VP won't allow them to catch anyone else out there. Bottom lane, Miracle just cutting the creeps. Looking to try and take this tier 1 with the rest of the team. And I've actually got Lil coming to the jungle, and well, there's the blink reveal. Moon jumps straight onto the tusk. So Lil will shard himself to make sure no one else can close in on him. And we have got VP maybe moving in. They've got a Yules, and there's Illidan with a cooldown. It's going to connect onto Crit with a Rocket Barrage as well. Crit's going to get stunned up. That's going to be Crit down. First of all in the fight. Viper Strike gets laid down onto Lina, but Lina self-heals herself, buying time, and now No-Tail's the one on the retreat. Rocket Barrage not doing too much there because the ice sharp block, the snowball in. They're going to be able to find No-Tail as well, and there's a killing spree for Illidan. 2 big kills for the side of VP. Top lane, Miracle looking for a bit of action of his own, closing in onto FNG. FNG does have a TP, but Miracle's got the mana void. I don't know if FNG can juke himself out of this one. Blink forward from Miracle. He's going to find Jakiro, and there's the kill. Miracle takes down the dragon. Lil and Phobos. There's a snowball onto Fly. They're not done yet, VP, but there's the blink, the crush. They're trying to turn OG. The walls drop down as well. Lil, can he get himself away? The last tower hit will finish him off. Crit pops the Nightmare down onto Phobos. Moon does have a crush. Is he going to go back in? Phobos toggling off the Nightmare there with the illusion. Phobos surges away. And they'll keep it safe, but action happening all around the map there.
So while the Jakiro did die top, look at that HP. 49 HP on that tier 2 tower. And that's the strongest thing about Jakiro as a support. You put him in a lane and he can solo push without any need for help. Now he did burn a little too much mana and he did end up dying there. But by killing the tier 2 tower, this jungle is completely unprotectable. Big tower advantage going to VP now. And they went pretty well in that fight as well. They got a couple kills. Viper's not going to snowball like he did in the last game. No-Tail doesn't have the same kind of heroes to play against. A lot of scary things.
One thing to note as well, though, this is the point of the game where the Battle Fury is now done on to Miracle. He's getting that sent out, and here we go. This is where the farm game begins.
Yes.
He is top of the net worth at the moment, top of the CS, and unless VP can catch him out time and time again, he should be able to keep himself there, and we're already going to see them try and catch him out. G, they're smoked up. Can they get the initiation Miracle? They haven't quite got the vision because the Knights are... Oh, he's blinked! G, if he can close the gap in the shard, they're going to trap him. Can they get the Yules? They don't even need it. Straight up light strike. Snowball in. There's your Laguna. Beautiful pick off from VP. Absolutely fantastic from the boys.
Those ice shards consistently catching somebody that's about to get away. That is the abusiveness of Tusk. Look for those kills. Don't let him get out. No-Tail trying to get a kill mid. He's got a haste, but it's running out. They could chase him down, but they're far. Instead, they'll go for the tier 1 tower, take the towers. They know Anti-Mage isn't farming right now. They can be greedy as well.
And Moon should be able to find himself the tier 1 down the bottom, but as you said, VP grouping up and ready to just power down the mid lane. They take the tier 1. Looking to go for more here. They're all topped up in terms of the health and the mana department. And 8 seconds until that anti-mage is back on the map. Let's see if OG are able to do anything about this, but look at the pushing power. The tower's literally going to start to melt here. To liquid fire as Jakiro flies around. And it looks like they'll probably just have to let this one go. They pop out the fortification for this OG.
They have to be careful right now. Weave is super high negative armor on them, at least -10 on all. They can still take the tower easy. Man, Liquid Fire is so good.
They haven't got No-Tail, and No-Tail does not have a TP on the Viper, so they're going to have to let the tier 2 go. VP take yet another objective.
Anti-Mage needs to be absolutely scared now, because Jakiro almost has Euls of his own, and he's got Ice Path leveled up to the max. That means every 9 seconds or so, or every Euls cooldown, he can land a 2.2 second stun on Anti-Mage. And they've got follow-up as well. Maybe they don't have the most physical damage, they're very magic heavy, but they have the lockdowns that they were lacking before. And pretty much everybody on OG has to worry about this. It's going to be so hard getting a Fiend's Grip off when you have to worry about Ice Paths and Light Strike Arrays and all this damage pumping out. OG's on the back foot yet again. And they have to rely on Anti-Mage to win this for them. And he has to not get killed.
VP going for the rush. OG, they're smoked up. Are they going to try and take this fight? The weave gets laid down. They've got the vision. And there's Moon. Oh, he gets the 3-man crush off here. And then starting the fight before Roshan goes down to get the Fiend's Grip onto Lil. With the Ice Path there to cancel the Fiend's Grip. And now VP comes straight back in with a punch onto Grit. There's your cooldown from Illidan. Looking to move it on to No-Tail. No-Tail trying to turn around, get the slows out. He'll put the bet, but there's your Laguna. Viper down. Moon gets the crush again. No Phobos to fall. 1-for-1 at the moment. Illidan gets blown by the Mana Void. They found themselves 2. Miracle blinks himself away. It's a 2-for-2 here at this point. Lil only just surviving.
Lil doesn't know where to run.
Oh, Moon.
Oh, the snowball.
pass by. She got the stun on Moon, cancelling the crush, and Lil tries to get himself away. Fly one more,
the attack speed.
but it pops the charges. And now Moon, he's stuck here in the shards. He's trying to get himself out, gets the crush, puts the amplifier.
Oh, G might die.
Going back. They get G. Ice Path comes out to 2, but they've already lost 3. VP, they need to get themselves out. The sharp block is beautiful, but Moon, he's got the sprint and he's got the blink. Crush on FNG, takes down Jakiro. It's another one for the boy on the fish. Dominating streak for Moon, and OG come out on top of the Roshan fight.
Moon is doing so well, he's like, I'm buying Midas, guys. I'm the carry now.
Oh my goodness.
Man, Miracle played that fight so well.
Yeah.
He's got no items, but he still shows up and gets a lot done.
Exactly, and he gets so low, gets himself out, waits for the regen, and then he jumps back in, realizes the opening's there to get himself involved in more kills. And that's, as you said, they're relying on the anti-mage, and now he's back on top of the net worth.
That was the fight they needed. They're doing great now. Jakiro still doesn't have his Euls. I'm really missing a point in Dual Breath here. I feel like for a fact that it would be useful. He's got way more mana than he needs. It's a 10-second cooldown disable. I really wish that he had Dual Breath. It works as well against Sardar Blink, things like that. It helps you a lot in the team fights, but they haven't quite had the full kite potential that they need in these engagements yet. He does actually get Dual Breath this time, so...
There we go. You can die a happy man, Purge.
Yes.
The question is really, who's going to go back into that pit first? I mean, do you feel that OG, are they going to feel any kind of pressure on them to go and take it before VP get themselves back in, or are they going to be very happy waiting for VP to try and go there again?
Yeah, I think they're going to want to wait for VP to go for it. They don't need to try to steal it. Even though they do have a Slardar and a Dazzle, they can obviously, if all of VP shows across the map.
Needs to be careful, they're closing in here on the Viper. Shards get thrown out, but they won't get the trap off.
That would have been a 3 death on VP if that worked, so it's good they missed it.
Yeah, the backup really is there from OG, and VP need to get themselves out. This ward's going to spot all this out. They know that OG's in the area, and VP don't want to do any bit of that.
Maybe they're just trying to force rotations or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but... Because they did have that Observer ward up, so they maybe saw the Dazzle and stuff like that.
Moon's heading into the pit. G just TP'd down bottom here on this Lina, so VP, they're ready to fight. All the ultimates online. And they have got a smoke as well if they want to try and find an opening or try and find a pickup before it kicks off. They're just missing FNG at the moment. Revealing himself mid. OG teasing with Roshan at the moment. VP just hanging around on the high ground. So is OG though. Again, we saw this kind of positioning from both teams in one of the previous games. Just waiting for each other to go. Oh, FNG! Oh, he comes out. There's a crush on him. And this is the start of the fight. FNG, it will go down. The first death. The cooldown's going to be pretty
the grip.
And now the grip for the high ground onto Illidan. OG's moving in with Miracle as well. They're going to get the Gyro. Double kill for No-Tail. VP look for the fight. by FNG, just nonchalantly walking into the middle of it all, and the fact that they got that grip on the gyro. 2 huge kills for OG, and VP just can't contest Roche without these heroes.
I have no idea why FNG was walking through the river like that. They didn't have an observer ward ready. He didn't have an observer ward in his inventory to place. He just completely made an opening for his opponents, and it led to 2 huge kills in Roshan in a game where Anti-Mage can't get ahead. But now he's starting on his Yasha. Manta is quickly going to come after this due to them losing that last fight, and all this advantage that VP got from taking towers, they've thrown a lot of it away. They still don't have Euls on Jakiro. G still doesn't have Aghanim Scepter, even though he's really close.
And because of these fights as well, and as you said, what was working out to be a really smart pickup after that one big engagement, this Midas on the Slardar is keeping him at the same net worth as the mid laner for the side of VP, as the same as G. He's on 8.5k at the moment, and with this momentum that the side of OG are getting, he could be pretty much second or top on the board, even overtaking the anti-mage if he goes as ham as he has been, Moon.
Yeah, it's going to be a while until this pays off in damage ways. Right now, once he gets magic immunity, it's basically going to mean that he guarantees that he stuns and doesn't die when he goes in. They can still win the fight though. They have just picked up the Ags on G, but they've got to get the right pick. The last fight looked pretty good initially because they were able to segment the Viper and kill him without him being graved, but will that happen again? Fly normally doesn't make those kind of mistakes.
Smoked up OG, just seeing if anyone was coming up for the attempt on Miracle, and they might be now. VP now with their own smoke. And last smoke here for 9 minutes here on the side, so they're going to really hope that they can make something happen with this one. Making a beeline straight for the Dire Jungle. They might actually get the wraparound here onto OG. So they're going to look to push onto this tier 1, so VP might be able to come in from a really favorable angle here as they come in across from the Dire Jungle. And let's see who they're able to catch up first. From the back, here we go. Phobos leading forward, level 11, second point into the wall now. The team fight potential is there. OG are coming really far down. I don't know if they're going to expect this. And he's going to check out the tree line. Oh, the ice bomb!
The back heel!
Combo with the Jakiro, and the damage is there. Illidan with a flat cannon. They're all fully low, but they got the grave up onto No Tail. They're trying to fight back. Miracle pops down the Mana Void, but they've already lost 2 OG. They're going to lose 3 crits of fall as well. They've caught Miracle in the second ice bomb. It blinks onto G, trying to fight with the light strike. Miracle goes down as well. He has got the Aegis, but what a fantastic smoke from VP, and they should be able to find him. The snowball's on him before he blinks, follows him across. They're going to get Miracle.
Oh, he misses the stun.
No, Miracle. No, is he going to live? No, Miracle. Oh, no, Miracle.
Needs another one.
Oh, is he gonna live? Is he gonna live?
Oh.
Is he gonna live? No! Oh my goodness, the vacuum misses! Miracle! Oh, Phobos! One more Miracle! Oh my god! Miracle!
He stays alive.
Alright.
That was a big mistake from G there. He should have stunned him immediately after the Aegis respawn, but I think it was a miscommunication that he was expecting an ice path or maybe a snowball from Tusk, but he got to blink and he made it a little bit too hard to get caught, and he stays alive there. They still have an amazing fight, but that could have gone better.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The Miracle got out, but we've got to remember that was exactly the fight that VP needed. If they had got the anti-mage, I mean, even better, but the fact that I think it was pretty much a 3-for-1. It was the perfect smoke wraparound, and OG just looked like they didn't expect it at all.
They really didn't. They had no idea where VP was. But that's the combo that they need. Vacuum onto Ice Path, Macro Pyre, throw the Lina stun 2 seconds later, and that's like 3 heroes stunned for 5 seconds. You can't win that fight. The only way that OG would have won that is if they maybe had an Observer Ward sitting around where they were standing, and then maybe do a Slardar counter initiation before the combo goes off fully. They could have won that fight, but not like that.
Not like this. 18-15 now for OG. Let's see what the players still. Miracle 13k on this anti-mage, keeping that farm game up, and what's that coming out of the curry? Is he just getting sent out for the ultimate orb? Yeah, he's got the recipe, so just 400 or so gold, and he'll have that Manta Star ready for the next engagement.
It's not going to be a perfect solution because VP doesn't have the typical. AOE, yeah. It's a lot of AoE stuns. It's not the typical thing where they have orchids. But it's going to give them a lot of offensive potential. But usually when you grab the item, it gives you defense and offensive. The defense is not amazing here. It may still make him vulnerable. And the Yules is now up on Jakiro. So if he ever finds which Anti-Mage is real, and his Ice Path is off cooldown, he can say, hey guys, let's kill Anti-Mage.
Let's see what the plan is now. OG, that's revealing No Tail in the mid lane. BKB about 600 gold away here for Slada. Phobos worth noting, did just pick up those Greaves, so the farm for this Darkseer is still going fairly well.
He did miss Illidan though. He should have caught him with that. Illidan could have more mana and more HP. This might actually make a difference in the next fight.
And we'll see if the side of OG are going to be there to take it. They've got a couple of the guys down bottom. Miracle just getting on with a split push. Tier 2 on the bottom lane on the radiant half of the map is at half health, so Miracle could look to try and go, but he's playing it safe. Doesn't quite know the whereabouts here of VP.
It's BKB time. BKB on Jaro, BKB on Viper.
Alright, Viper strike onto FNG. FNG will use himself up here. Notel pots the BKB and he wants to fight. Cooldown coming out from Illidan, but OG looking for the perfect.
Oh, the vacuum.
The vacuum. The wall as well, and the snowball's done as well. This is huge for VP if they can follow up, and Illidan with his BKB is doing a lot of damage. Bane to fall. Laguna gets thrown down as well onto Fly. 2 kills at the moment for the side of VP. They did lose the Jakiro, but now Notel's trying to fight. VP is still there. They throw out the Dragon Slave. Miracle has yet to jump in. Mana still not too low on any of the heroes, so no choices. Oh! Moon just TPing away in time. 2 for 1 there. VP did come out on top.
Moon's BKB finally paying off. Or I'm sorry, his Midas finally paying off. He gets the BKB. Although I wonder, what if he had BKB in that last fight, you know? Might have been able to dodge the vacuum. Slight miscoordination there with DK Phobos as well as the Jakiro, but it could have been a, for example, interrupted Blink Dagger. Maybe he couldn't do the vacuum. But I thought FNG's play was correct. Do the ice path on the Bane to prevent him from gripping you during that situation. Obviously, it's not going to work on Viper. But again, FNG's slightly out of position here, and he gets initiated on. And his team can't cover him that well. Although I would have liked to see maybe a surge on him. That would have counteracted everything that Viper was doing.
DD is available here down at the bottom. Roshan, we'll see when that we're coming up in just 1.5 minutes. Getting closer and closer to that Roche time, which both of these teams will almost certainly look for. And Miracle, just in the jungle here. He's got Moon backing him up. VP though, they might catch wind of Miracle here if he makes a wrong blink. He's going to look to maintain control around this rune spot there with the sentry. And Miracle and Moon, we'll see if they reveal each other in the lane here. They're hiding in the trees at the moment.
They're hoping for a hero to farm, like G. If G shows by himself...
There is backup for G. If they jump on G, there is going to be a response from VP. And I think OG... Are they going to go for this? Are they going to fall for the G bait? Are they going to try and jump? Moon and Miracle.
They see him.
Oh, the sigil is putting him out. Moon blinks away, so does Miracle.
The snowball's going to catch him.
It's going to cancel the TP. Miracle's out of the vacuum onto Moon, bringing back Laguna onto the anti-mage. They find the anti-mage dead for 70 seconds. The sigil there from VP, finding them out.
Lil, what a player, man. He's like, they're going to be fishing. It's entirely possible
really
that they are.
Smart.
That guy's really excited.
I mean, that's big. That's a huge amount of time off the map here for this anti-mage, and we can see G as well. He's been keeping it really well with this anti-mage that got a decent timing of the Battle Fury. G on his Lina, only 2k behind the anti-mage at 30 minutes in. Not bad at all.
And he's going BKB next. He's got it now. Great item to have against Viper. No damage there. And anti-mage as well. Won't be able to mana burn him.
Here goes the push. G still using that DD rune. It's tier 3 starting to melt. 20 seconds until they've got that anti-mage. Shots. I'm going to clip anyone in.
Notel getting a little low. They need the liquid fire to hit.
Oh, Phobos with a vacuum onto one. The wall's about to work.
Oh, he's so low.
He got with the grave, keeping Notel alive here. Moon's trying to help with the fight. The Greaves have been popped by VP. They've got the BKB as well on Illidan. Notel incredibly low. Will go down there to the Dragon Slave. G focuses his attempts back towards the tier 3. They'll take it down now. Anti-mage back on the pitch. Fiend's grip onto Lil. Moon following up with a crush. They'll look for the Tusk kill and they will get it. So they take down the Tusk. They take down the Jakiro. But the rest of the team get out, and they did lose Notel and they did lose a tier 3.
I do like how far they ditched him.
Look at Miracle. He's really going for this. He's going to bring the right way. Oh, a little bit wrong there with the anticipation.
That surge lasted for so long. Level 4. I like how they ditched him though. This is different than the VP that we saw at the beginning of this tournament. They're cutting their losses. I felt like FNG underperformed again in that fight though. He could have used dodge his last hit.
Illidan here. Illidan does have Phobos to back up. Greaves will be popped. They'll back themselves away from Miracle.
I do feel that FNG messed up the fight though. He could have Yule's dodged that last hit that killed him. He didn't cast very many spells. He didn't combo with the vacuum. Obviously it was just a Viper, but they're on different pages here and FNG keeps dying without getting his spells off.
Phobos and Illidan starting to move out down there. 50 seconds until our Roshan's back. Miracle getting in position on the high ground, getting themselves back, ready for the defense. They do have that smoke here on Fly if they want to try and get a superior angle of initiation. And VP themselves are going to head into the pit. They're going to see it's not quite up. And they're just trying to get control around us there, checking for the runes, so the wards. And there's no vision at the moment for the Dire right around the Roche pit. There's a lot of vision around the secret shop and just behind the Roche pit though. So if... Oh, okay, here we go, OG. They're going to smoke up. They realize they need to find a kill here before Roshan's back. And this could be huge for them. They wrap around towards the left, anticipating that VP might be hanging around the middle of this jungle. And VP actually moving off to the right. VP are going to come back across here. Let's see if they can find the jump here. They've got the vision moves there with the crush onto Phobos. Viper's track as well, move plus the BKB, but they'll pick up the Phobos here in the snowball. Park gets laid down. Crit, he's been caught out. He's going to get stunned up. They'll lose the darks here, but they will find the Bane in response to fly with the grave though. Crit, he's going to be kept alive for the nightmare. Crit's not dead yet, and he might get himself out. No, he will fall.
in trouble.
But they get the ult step top of G, but he's so low, he will go down as well. Double kill for Miracle. It's a 3-for-1. They get FNG as well. The TP, the crush is there! It's gonna be a team-wide triple kill for Miracle! As OG wipe the slate clean, go for the Roshan, and that smoke leading them into the exact fight that they needed.
That was such a big grave from Fly. Kept the Bane alive for so long. He just never died. VP was completely focused on him, but they couldn't get him. The BKBs as well. The initiation was much better there for OG.
Oh man. BKB now, Yancy mate, just got the Aegis as well. It's getting to the point where it's going to be very hard for the side of VP to kill and control this anti-mage.
It still just comes down to the initiation every single fight.
Yeah.
Like, they went on Darkseer first. Darkseer doesn't get the vacuum. There's BKBs popped on OG, so VP has to outweight those. G just spent a lot of that fight just standing around waiting to do things. And by the time it was time for him to do things, his BKB was gone. And then he was a target for Miracle. They have to initiate first. It's the only way this works. Same goes for OG. If they go first, the fights go great.
We're seeing, once again, very close this game. 3K lead at the moment for the side of OG. Oh, wouldn't be surprised if it tails off a little bit more there after that fight. And OG certainly going to feel in the stronger position. VP, they're not happy. They want to smoke up. They want to try and find something in response. They're actually going to go towards the top lane straight away, so they're going to miss OG entirely here.
I think they're hoping for an anti-mage right now. They do kill the creep wave. They didn't show by right-clicking at least.
And, well, so Illidan now revealing himself to bottom. They're going to see that he doesn't have a TP here on this gyrocopter.
He is going for Butterfly. I like his build, and OG's going to pressure with this. Obviously, they do have Aegis, so. Moon Meander now picking up a Hyperstone. He's got 3 attack speed items. This is really dangerous to a lot of heroes, namely Gyrocopter. He can just chain bash him, do a ton of physical damage, and deal with him by himself. Butterfly is the solution to that, though. Ooh, can they kill Moon? They saw him come up here. They've got the heroes for it.
Yeah, they have indeed. They've got the control, they've got the burst.
He's got BKB, though. They can't do a Yule setup.
As well. Moon, he's got to be very careful which way he turns now. And he's turned the right way.
They're late.
Turned the right way.
And you know what? I'm going to say that's because Slardar has so much damage and so much attack speed. If he didn't have a Midas and a Hyperstone and a Treads here, it would have taken him a lot longer to kill the creep wave and to kill the creeps, because they basically had to predict that he was going to kill the large camp and then the small camp. And because he did more damage, their stun was late. So it's hard to read stuff like that. Good attempt at a prediction by a VP, but it didn't quite hit.
Miracle now. 4.4k gold in it.
He's got a BKB.
Yeah, look at the GPM as well. 35 minutes. He's already above the 600 mark.
On the back of Anti-Mage. They've all been playing so well, though.
Yeah. This is very scary for VP. I mean, we talked about it in previous games. They do have the Gyro to take this late, but Gyro is still quite a bit behind this Anti-Mage. There's a good, coming to about 9k between the two of them. I mean, Miracle, what does he go for now? He's with the Aegis. Okay, he's just selling the Vlads. He's probably going to look for the heart.
Eats a Moonshard, actually.
Oh, no, okay, sorry, no. Drops the Vlads, eats the Moonshards, yeah. Okay.
Interesting choice. I maybe would have liked a Butterfly instead, just because it's going to make Gyrocopter worthless. Gyrocopter already has very few ways to deal with Anti-Mage. He's really going to have to aim for the backlines, Bane, Dazzle, Viper, but his farm is not really at a point where he's a good solution against a BKB Viper or a BKB Slardar. So Gyro's feeling a little useless here. The ward does spot him out, though. Let's see if they dive past the tower.
Radiant's
No, he's just going to call down to be safe.
Indeed, OG looking to take another tier 2. At the same time, VP themselves making the movements around the bottom. TPs are coming back though from OG. They're ready to fight if VP want to. I don't think VP will. They're just happy forcing those back and playing it safe themselves. And yeah, G's going to TP out. And he's still sticking around on his own here top. Just getting the hits in, but you're not going to be able to chase down this Slardar at all without the control that the rest of the team was about. Miracle's just blinked into this one. There is just the two of them here. They just cannot kill this guy. They've just got to run a Miracle. He wants to fight here. Moving in, FNG trying to juke this one out around the tree line.
Crit's leading him off.
And
No
there's
force staff
backup.
though.
Yeah, Crit's here on the Bane.
Maybe Phobos in trouble? No, blink.
Okay,
No.
he's got the blink.
That was great. Really well done by VP there. If he gets an Abyssal next, yeah, that's a kill for sure. I think it's a little weird to get the Moon Shard though. I'm not
Miracle.
sure.
Ooh, there's a lot of VP that have come down here. They're very interested in what Miracle's up to. Miracle just staying outside the edge of vision. Things are still coming out, and VP, okay, they've given up on this one. They've head up to the mid lane. AC now done on your Slardar as well.
He's so farmed. He's actually more farmed than any hero on VP now. The might is completely
It's
paying
pretty
off.
much consistently just stayed at the second position at net worth.
This is an area where Slardar gets extremely scary, even without real damage items. Just with the minus armor that he gets out of Assault Cuirass, Amplify Damage, and the passive Bash, he's going to be hitting as hard as a typical carry. Gyro is in so much trouble now. He has to finish this Butterfly soon, otherwise Slardar's just going to target him at the start of the fight, BKB or not, and just kill him. It's so tough for VP now. Their farm rates are decreasing.
Oh,
OG's
Illidan. Oh, the blinker nearly bit off point. Illidan's popping the BKB.
If he gets gripped.
And there's your grip. Illidan in so much trouble. Look at this right click. It's absolutely disgusting. And that's a big pick. 60 seconds down. He does have buyback, and he may need to use it. Phobos already got the top lane pushing out. The mid lane's going in. Look at the light strike onto Miracle, but he's Glimmer caped up. King's back.
There is a Ghost Scepter on Jakiro, so if he gets targeted at the start, it could be okay for him. But he's got to watch out for the Slitherine Crush. Can't get stunned for 2.5 seconds. So many of their heroes are like that, really. If anybody gets initiated on, the only person that can save them is Tough Snowball. Even a Lincoln's up. Who's got that? On Viper?
Okay, Moon jumps in with a crush, but there's a snowball there from Lil with the stop of the bash. Oh, first hit there from the man. G he's going to be able to keep himself alive for a little bit. Gets the Lagoon out, but he'll still fall. G buys back straight away. Miracle heading his attention back towards the tier 3. Vacuum onto 2. Can they find anything on the back of this? Chasing down OG. Shards will come out, but no. Both of the icy spells missing No Tail. There's a basher now picked up by Miracle.
That fight proving Moon Meander's gold advantage is just too much. He jumps on somebody, he bashes you twice, does 500 physical damage. How do you combat that when BKBs are so popular? If you're playing a mid hero like Lina, you can't deal with that damage output. Maybe if he was like a Shadow Fiend or something and naturally had high armor, but Alina can't match up against this at all. Moon Meander's Midas purchase completely paid off, and especially his early game performance, easily making up for last game.
Yeah, he's been involved in 24 to 28 kills. He's been making so much happen this time for OG.
So things just get harder and harder for VP. They have 3 heroes ahead of them now.
But he's just so hard to kill. The Nightmare's there. They will get the stun. They've got the Yules. Do they have the control though? And the answer's no.
Wasn't a huge fan of that Yules on him, but
I mean, either way, I don't
he
think
was
they're killing
probably
Miracle.
fine, yeah. Especially with a Glimmer Cape.
Not at all.
He gets healed back to full. Lots of glimmers, actually.
I mean, that's the
item they
problem.
need.
Without any kind of big damage, they've got the butterfly, but he needs something else. In fact, maybe even needs 2 more big items before they're going to be able to deal the damage to kill this anti-mage.
Yeah.
We saw them use pretty much all of their lockdown there, and it just doesn't matter.
Their lineup is too magic damage focused at this point. Their timing window was around the mid game. I feel like they're about 6 minutes too late now, because now OG have BKBs on all their core heroes, and they've got Glimmer Capes on all their supports. Whoever gets initiated on, they have so many ways to stay alive at this point. And they don't have any physical damage coming out of VP. Gyrocopter is not typically a hero that has tons of physical damage, especially because he got killed so many times in the early laning stage. It's hard to catch up and stay ahead of your opponents. So VP is just in a really bad spot now. I think they had plenty of times that they could maybe win some fights or get some advantage, but they just didn't quite get as much as they needed to out of their fights. And now they're lacking on physical damage and they can't deal with OG.
I mean, talking about defense as well, it's going to get to the point where VP are going to have to try and hold these racks and the tier 3s. I mean, even when it comes to high ground defense, do they have the lineup really at this point to deal with OG? Because I feel that OG have just got so many great ways of breaking the base.
They have some ways, but the problem is the Tricore from OG is also tanky. They all have 2,000 HP, and the best counter they have to BKB is the Lina X, and it only does half of that HP on each of those heroes. Now he's got a Void Stone picked up. I honestly feel like he should go for a Refresher Orb. It's kind of tough to afford it. It might cost too much mana. It's going to be that or a Hex, but he needs as many Laguna Blades as he can get in a team fight. It's the only way they're going to kill Anti-Mage. It's the only way they're going to kill Viper.
There we go, Miracle frontlining it. Up onto the tier 3. Nothing the VP can do to really slow this down. I mean, No Tail as well. I haven't really talked too much about him, but at this point, he's just a... You can't kill this man. What are yours? Moon jumps in with the crush. Probos there with the wall.
Oh, they might get him.
There's Miracle, the Grave.
Oh, the Grave.
The Graves are huge, and they'll continue the fight now. Miracle moving forward, does get stunned. Will lose the Aegis here. Maybe this is it from VP. They've already managed to pop the Aegis. Can they get anything more, though? Miracle's back up. He will blink himself even further in. Phobos, well, he might go down, and he does. It's a 1-for-2. Miracle is unstoppable. With the BKB now, just getting himself in position to fight. Now he goes back for the racks. So they get 2 for 1, and these are 2 heroes that do not have buyback. The pod fortification here, VP, but they'll lose mid-racks, and with the amount of push and damage that OG have, they may even lose more here, Purge.
They do stun Miracle temporarily. Dual Breath as well, going to reduce attack speed. But they've got 10 seconds until the Laguna Blade.
And Moon just jumping in. There's the snowball dodge here, but they still lose him. It's a killing spree for No Tail. Miracle just cleaning up. 4 down at the moment. And I don't know if VP have an answer to this.
There's 4 dead heroes,
And
that's it.
GG! People online may have been asking, what does OG stand for? And it's because they're soaking up the applause here at the stadium. Absolutely beautiful. 2-1 to the boys. They take it, but a fantastic fight nonetheless from VP. They really did their best, but OG just turned up with a better Dota 2 today. Back over to you, Paul, on the panel.
And OG